The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
It is.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Are we keeping you awake?
Not now.
No.
I'll let you know about 10 minutes in.
Tony V, and we have Artie Januario. Thank you for coming back this week.
Thanks for having me again.
Appreciate it. Now, you confirmed you're going to be here for another couple more weeks after this, too, right?
I have to, yeah. It's
court
a
ordered.
community service thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Aren't you obligated to do 4 hours a year of some sort of community service?
4 hours a month.
Wow, what did you do?
Giving back.
So, thank you for joining us.
Better than picking up trash on the highway.
Now you just give helpful tips.
Not much, though. Not much better. No.
Now you're just going to be able to give pearls of wisdom to everyone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
you.
real estate. Well, given that it's people's biggest purchase, we're doing a service. It's true.
Yeah. So we got them all taken care of as far as their buyer's remorse last week, I believe. So they shouldn't run into that
weeks
again.
ago, anyway.
Whatever.
What are we
a couple
on
weeks.
What are we on
I'm
to
losing
this
track
week,
of
Rick?
Huh?
What are we on to this week?
What? Do you have an agenda now?
No,
all of a
I just
sudden?
because I learn things.
I know.
How are we helping humanity this week? I mean, I'm never gonna buy a house again because that's like the worst thing you can do in your life. But if you're gonna talk about it, I'd like to know what we're talking about.
In case you're ever in that position again.
In case I ever, I don't ever want to buy another house. I'm not buying another house.
You're not buying a house.
I'm moving to Austin, Texas, and living in a cardboard box.
Wow.
It's 100 degrees there.
Your
almost
son moved
every
back
day.
from there, though, right?
Because it was 100 degrees there every day, so he didn't want to live there.
Right.
He goes,
There's a lot of movement to
let
Austin,
me move
Texas.
up north where you have to heat the house.
Right. Didn't Musk buy a bunch of stuff down there, like
The cologne?
Elon?
Musk? Yeah, he bought stuff down there.
A lot.
Where, in Austin? Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought a lot of stuff there. So didn't Zuckerberg and who's the other
They
guy?
all do it. One does
The other
it.
guy, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's up there
I guess when
now?
you get to a certain amount of millions, you
Joe
go to-
Rogan's up there?
Yeah, I think they moved there for tax purposes.
Yeah, exactly why they moved
Huh.
there.
Huh.
Yeah, someone gave Rogan $100 million in his own channel on the...
Really?
And he moved to Austin.
So he's trying to really out
His podcast is slightly more popular than
No, I
this
was going
one.
to say, he's number 2, we number 1, or is it? Or we flip
We're
back
the top
and forth? on
five.
these?
We keep flipping.
Our numbers are through the roof.
Huge.
Yeah.
Which puts a lot of pressure on us. Almost like we got to come up with information each week. Do you think they come on to listen to us?
No,
or?
I think it's our sunny personalities.
Yeah. In extremely interesting guests.
You're no longer a guest now, you know.
Well,
You're
I'd like to be.
You're like
You're the fifth Beatle.
you're like Billy Preston.
Yeah.
Somebody keep calling up from Pawtucket type of thing.
But we have no phones here.
I come up here to the big show once in a while. Usually I'm down in the minor leagues, struggling.
Speaking of which, Shohei Ohtani.
700 million.
700 million. He's deferred $68 million a year.
No, I heard even more.
68 out of the 7
I heard almost 480 million, something like these deferred.
for the year. Maybe
it is 68
it's 70
million. You're
million
right.
a
You're
year,
right.
and he's
Although
deferred
that-
68 a year because he makes $50 million outside of baseball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Endorsements.
And whatnot. Yeah.
You sound like you're not there yet. with
I hope
that
he's
amount.
listening. I mean, in case he wants to buy a little house somewhere, something on the lake maybe in
You
Wakefield.
think we could have some tips for him?
Yeah.
Probably
you never
Austin,
know.
it would sound like.
Do you think he has any buyer's remorse?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, well, he had.
No, you know what's
his
gonna happen?
grandfather had a shack in Hiroshima.
Yeah,
And
that didn't
that
last.
didn't
That
work
didn't
out
last
well.
long. No.
You know,
That was permanently heated.
Hiroshima. What'd you call it?
Hiroshima?
All right. Now, people are going to think
Yeah.
that sometimes all our facts are true that we present to our public.
Why would they
Well,
think
they can
that?
do a fact check.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All
don't
right.
listen to anything we say. That's on them.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, it's on them.
You listen to that?
Sure.
All right.
If we've learned anything in the past 8 years, it's like nothing is true.
So they learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've had some good facts over the years.
Oh, yeah. No, there's always a germ of something important.
Exactly.
It's like panning for gold.
Right. Maybe what we should do today is give kind of a recap of all our for tips that we've done for the year for our first-time home buyers.
Oh, like an end of the year.
End of the year thing. What do you think?
Okay, yeah.
Is that a
Yeah,
good idea?
sure.
Now, some of the stuff we might have talked
I'm going to
about.
give end of the life advice. Not
You're,
just the
you're really
year.
upset about the
Yeah,
show?
Yeah. If somebody asks you to do a podcast, think long and hard about it.
Yeah.
Well, I really learned about how much this interferes with your life now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I smoke it.
I told it last week where, I called Tony up, says, should we skip a week? Oh, I'm going to be there anyway.
Anyway, yeah, you come up here to smoke cigars and
So
straighten out the world's...
now we're number 2 on the, but yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we give a list
Yeah.
end of the year and then maybe some other show that we're coming up because I'm really confused on what shows.
Don't worry about it.
I know. Then maybe we'll do a pre-plan for next year. Maybe we'll come out with some goals and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Should we
We
do
have
that?
a little
Sure.
syllabus going on for what's going to happen
Yeah.
in anxious anticipation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of what's happening
is that
next
enough
year.
of a tease to
Yes.
get people
That's
watching
great.
us now?
Sure.
2024 is going to be a great time
Ooh,
to
Yes,
buy a
because
house.
we know that interest rates are going to start to come down.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
2024.
It'll be a good-
It's
good-
always good to buy a home during an election year. And
Yes.
we'll come up
You're
with the
right.
proof on that.
Yes.
You're right. I think
Yes,
you're right.
hopefully in another
And
country.
or a leap year. And I'll tell you why.
Why a leap year?
Go ahead.
Well, because
Did you
it's-
pick up on this a little bit since we last saw you last week?
No, not at all.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was in the bathroom and I was Googling leap year. Come to find out it's my birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, February 29th, 1956.
Well, every presidential year is your birthday.
And every election year.
So
yeah.
you're like, what, 12 years
in
old? then?
Olympic year too, but then they changed that to
Oh, they
every 2 years.
flip-flopped.
But the
Yeah,
Summer
yeah.
Olympics is every 4 years.
Oh, you're right. So you have a birthday coming up February 29th,
Yes.
2024.
Tuesday.
Wow. Oh, wow.
There's a February 29th this year?
It's a Thursday.
Oh.
Okay.
Actually,
With-
it's a third. Wednesday's the 28th. Put it that way.
Wednesdays, okay. All right. So you come in
Mike
here.
asked me to do a show.
Who's Mike? Should we?
Mike Clark from Giggles Comedy Club.
Where is
Route
he
1
at?
southbound.
He's a pretty.
Not to be confused with anything northbound.
Nah, I never really liked Northbound.
I was
Seriously.
at the Kowloon last weekend. It was fun.
Kowloon's going to be shutting down soon. I don't want to give out fake news, but
Is it?
yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so.
All right. All right.
They've been selling for a while.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Ow! Oh!
Wow. You can't get this anywhere else. All right, so let's do an end of. Hey. I'm not going to be able to read my notes with that.
That's all right.
Look at us. Look at
All
us.
right, so these are our favorite tips of this
Favorite
past year.
tips.
Past
Yeah.
year.
All right, you guys have anything to start us off with?
No.
Nope. All right, thank you.
You should
All
have the list.
I have the list,
You're
but
the one who was writing feverishly.
to get ready for the show. I didn't know it would be a monologue for the show. All right, so you know this one.
Yeah.
You always got to get a team of people with you in the very beginning.
Always.
Before
Yep.
signing an
Of
offer.
course. Don't sign anything.
Right. With
right.
with T-shirts and
Right,
names
right.
and numbers
Yeah,
on the
for-
back.
yeah, whoever's buying it.
Rick
Yep.
69,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Team Januario.
Januario.
Yeah. No, I had it right. Stop it there. But you
Yeah,
got to get
all-
the
you
but
gotta
you got
get-
not only is that important,
Yeah.
we might not we always stress that, but we got to stress a buyer needs to get that before an offer signed.
Of
because
course.
the offer is what?
Is binding.
Is binding.
It's a binding
It's a
contract.
It's a binding
Binding.
contract.
It's like
See?
cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, it binds you
The
up.
cheese of
It's binding
Oh,
you
that's
up.
paperwork.
good.
Yeah, it binds you up.
That might be one of our reels coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Imodium of paperwork.
Oh, wow. Now you're showing off.
Well, Imodium.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I heard your
Binding.
12 Days of Christmas.
12 drugs of Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I've never heard that before. That
No.
that was a
Yeah.
unique one. You heard that during
Maybe
Pie
I'll,
Night, right?
Yeah.
I'll whip it out tonight. And then I'll do the 12 drugs of Christmas.
Hello?
I have never heard the 12 days of Christmas.
12 drugs of Christmas.
Right. Well,
It's very
yeah.
hard to remember when you're up there. It is.
I know.
And there's 12 of them.
You actually got through them all, too, right?
I think I did. I'm not sure.
Maybe next week, because I know you probably don't remember it from what you put together. Maybe next week or whatever week you
I
show
should
up.
write stuff down.
Yeah, I know. You're like that, too.
No, we've learned anything from you, never write anything down.
Sometimes when
They can commit you.
That's right.
There's
That's evidence.
documentation.
That's
There's
evidence.
documentation.
Yes.
Right.
In case my wife wants to prove them and saying, look at what he's been writing. Look at this.
I've been putting up with this for 40 years. Who can suffer through
Well,
this?
sometimes when you guys come on, me and Kathy have to remind you of what your jokes are.
I don't never remember what I said.
I know you don't.
I was at a family thing Sunday, and it's a family get-together, and they have this Yankee swap thing
Oh,
where
yeah.
you bring a gift and everything like that. And they said, hey, Artie, remember the time you brought a bedpan with a picture of Father Bede, who was my mother's brother, he's a priest,
Yeah.
that he had passed away. And
Yeah.
I wrapped up a bedpan
With the
with the
deceased
picture, with
priest
the picture
on
of
the
him. And I said, I
bedpan.
don't even remember doing that. They go, oh my God, it was hilarious. I said, well, I guess a one-time joke thing. Like Tony says, you forget what you even
forget,
say,
yeah.
you forget what you do.
Yeah.
Can I, after the show, I'm going to ask you how you play Yankee Swap, because I think some of my family members don't play it correctly, and it irks me.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that afterwards.
It's different because you got to wrap stuff up for children because there's kids there and
Yeah.
adults.
Well, I
and
get that part,
Adult
but-
male. Adult
I know.
Female.
You get a present.
Yeah.
You bring a present.
You bring a present.
Yeah.
Then you take a present. But
Right.
then someone can
No.
take your present.
Right.
Instead of opening another present.
Right.
That's how I
Yeah.
play it.
Well, no, you
See, here we go.
you take a number and say you have
yeah.
number 15.
Right.
And you take a gift and you open it up and you say, oh, all right, I like this, I'm going to keep it. Or you say, let me see, what else can I trade it
see,
for? What do
I-
you have? Scratch tickets, I'll take that.
See, I play it the opposite, I guess.
Yeah. It's
So
weird.
so number 15 either can take anyone else's gift
Right.
or open something that's unopened. But once you open it, then
It's
that's your
yours.
gift.
Oh, yeah.
But
we
then
don't do
can
that.
someone
you're
take
looking at
that
me,
from you?
You play it differently. Yes.
We don't
number
play it in
s-
Australia at all. We just steal things.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the way to do
We
it.
don't
See,
try,
that's
and,
how
we
when
don't try and
Yankees-
like hide it in a game. We just flat out steal
Yeah.
people's shit. No, I was really like trying to get what you both were saying. and
Yeah,
I,
so
I
his
think
is-
I think I would play Artie's way. I feel like that's
okay,
the
all right. So I
better.
shouldn't have been condemning my sister all these years.
Perhaps.
'cause-
No.
All right. Well, Tony sounds like he plays the same way. So
I don't.
He's
He
the
steals
number
as well.
one, and there's only two people. You know?
say what?
He's only like number one, number two, and they just.
So number one should end up getting the
You
best.
need to
gift.
have a lot of people.
No,
Fuck.
number,
yeah,
number
you
one
definitely-
would potentially end up with the worst.
With the worst.
theory,
Yeah.
because
Let's see. No, because then
whoever has the highest
no,
number
'cause
would
the
end
way
up.
we play. All right, and I didn't think.
What we do
Here we
though is
go.
we go back to number one as being the last number.
to give
So
them a
the
fair
poor
chance.
That's what we do
Yeah.
too. So
Went
number
first.
one has the overall choice. So they have opened that. Whatever he has left, then he can make the final, or she can
The
make
thing
the
is,
final.
if you leave the room for a little while.
Oh, that's- well,
because I
people
was number
cheat.
29.
Do you
so
believe family
I
members
left
cheat?
it around 12.
It's almost
and
like
I went and watched
Survivor.
football. I come back, they're on 28, and I said, okay.
Ah.
And then, but before I came in the room, I looked to see who's hiding their gifts behind them.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
they want to keep that.
Oh, yeah.
Going for that. Then. You know what I mean? Anybody who's holding tight,
yeah.
the people go, try this, try it. No, I don't want that.
It just seems like it just seems like it's made for conflict. That game.
Oh, it's great.
Well, my way I do it is definitely conflict.
You ever seen the Aussie show Mr. In Between?
What is
You
it?
Watch that, Mr. In Between.
No.
Check it out. It's great. You'll love it. The guy's Aussie. He's a hitman, but they play that.
Okay.
And it ends with him throwing someone through a glass window.
All right. Well, I mean,
Because the guy took his daughter's like unicorn candle. Like, what a dick. So he had to.
Sure, he
I
had
could
to,
see
he had
it
to do
getting
his
to that
fatherly
point.
duty.
I know.
Just
I
saying.
know. I know. So I mean, literally, I haven't played in
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people's houses for
So
that.
I think that's a good tip. For,
should we put
when
that
you
on
buy
number
a
two?
house, have people over for the first Christmas that you're there.
Yep.
You invite everybody over.
Yep.
Have Yankee swap, and then you see what happens.
See who's standing at the end.
Yeah, and then you see who your real family are.
Why not take it to the next level and just do Yankee swap with houses?
Oh, yeah.
there you go.
You know what I
buy
mean?
a house.
You live in a house for a while.
All right, I'm writing this down.
You live in a house for a while.
Yep.
And then you go, nah, I'm not sure about this house. I'm going to go live in another house.
So what you do-
So then you go take someone else's house. They got to go live in that house. And then
So get the whole neighborhood together.
Yeah, get like 15,
and
20
then pull
people.
out numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That
then the
sounds
first
like
one,
the
And
old
it'd take like
pyramid
6
scheme
months.
of timeshare swapping weeks.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a week in Hawaii. Really? You want a week in
Drake it?
Algonquin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Why not?
All right. So
You're very willing for the guy that probably has one of the nicer houses out of like.
Yeah, you
Or
better.
unless
you
you're
better,
thinking
you
about
better
only
get
your
number
group
one.
of friends. Yeah.
Nobody's going to want to live in my
Like if
house.
that's between you and I, like you're in for a disappointment.
But that's what I mean. But then you
All right,
can
so-
give it back.
So get everyone. What we're saying is all in the same subdivision.
Yeah.
So they're kind of okay.
Yeah.
But
They're
some might have
comparable.
different features.
Right.
So
Different facing light.
Sort of facing different. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Sure, bigger deck in the rear.
You're always very good.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're one vowel away from
Yeah.
shutting this whole place
Sure,
down.
I know.
All right, so Yankee swap. Maybe we should do that at some show out. Well, I shouldn't say ours. Your best ideas for the previous year. Maybe we'll put that on one of our
Okay.
shows.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna put Yankee swap up there.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the.
Wife swap?
Well, yeah, you could. He said you could do it. Yeah, you could.
I'm
do
single. I'm single.
that. You are now. I kind of like the idea of throwing all the buyers in the arena.
That I think was
that's
one of my
gotta
best
work.
ideas.
No, the best one was the bubble ball for
The bubble
Camley
ball
Mountain.
for old people. And
Yeah.
they have that now.
I know.
They're doing
all the
they're
stuff.
actually
All the
doing
stuff
it.
we've talked about.
Yes.
is now
to keep
coming
old
out.
people safe.
I don't know.
And they have personal airbags. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see that
Like if
one.
you fall, an airbag envelops you.
In your own ear bubble?
Yeah.
In your own bubble?
It's like a
Well, they think of
it's
everything.
like a coat that inflates. and
Wow.
Before you hit the
Why?
ground.
Because a lot of people were getting
I
hurt
guess they're
before then?
following. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Because the
I think I'll
population's
just get
aging.
really fat.
The population is aging, so you know, these
yeah.
you know.
Old people stuff.
Yeah.
Like I started doing, they say you lose your balance as you age.
Yep.
So I started doing Tai Chi.
Really?
Yeah, I still bump into shit. So I don't know how long it takes.
What is Tai Chi? What type of...
It's movement. It's
Yeah.
breathing
Okay.
and movement, and it's
All
supposed
right.
to increase your balance and stuff.
Okay.
Started out in Korea in 1490
There he goes.
BC or BCE or something. There was a guy, he was a beekeeper, really. And so he started with the,
I got you.
like that.
Trying to
And
get
you know what I mean? Trying to get the
Which-
bees, trying to get honey. So he's distracting the bees. As his kid ran in and got the honey. It became like a religious
There's a
thing.
lot of caressing the moon.
Yeah, different
Whatnot.
things.
Yeah.
Where do
know?
you take it at?
Yeah, we do it online.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I just do it in my living room.
Well, yeah, I watch the computer screen, and they have
You do Tai Chi,
instructors.
too?
Yeah, I don't watch anything. I just
You just do
memorize
it,
all
yeah.
the moves. I used to do it on the beach on Provincetown,
Oh, that must look cool.
just to keep
Did
people
you do
walking
the
their dogs away
one-legged
from me.
swan look where you pick up the
No,
leg?
that's
not Tai Chi.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus,
wow.
Rick. Now you're making it sound foolish.
That's kung fu.
All right, let's get back to the Tai Chi, which is... All right,
right.
how far do we get? One? Get professionals.
Yeah.
Do it before the offer sign.
Yes.
Because we know the offer is a binding contract.
contract.
All right.
Binding
Yes.
Right. Got to get a home inspection done.
Yeah.
And we learned very nicely at our last show, home inspection isn't necessarily just to get you out of the deal. It's to, tell
Give
you
you
what,
a heads up.
heads
It's
up on what
checking out your
problems.
house.
Right,
It's
checking
checking
out
it
the
out.
house.
You should know.
You got to know this stuff.
You test drive a car.
Right.
You know, see what's good. Or if you're buying a used shit box like Artie, you take it to a mechanic.
Yeah, you take it. What do you think? Yeah, it'll last a couple of
How
thousand.
many miles on yours?
119.
Oh, I got you beat by twice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 240. Thanks.
But I bought it with 110.
Right.
So it's only in
Get
May.
around a lot, huh?
From May to now. So if I get a couple of years out of it, I'm happy.
All right, you got to find out early if you need flood insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because if you need flood insurance, that might throw your numbers off for the month.
And
it
it
can be
doesn't have
quite-
to be by the ocean.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
No.
Look what happened in Leominster
Yeah.
this past year. The rivers overflowed
Yeah.
and people got flooded
Look at
out.
Montpelier, Vermont.
Yeah.
It's on a mountain.
And it rained.
How did
because-
that happen?
Because it rained insipidly,
Yeah.
straight down for
Yeah.
a
Oh, see, we're
constant
even
amount
showing
of
off.
time.
Yeah, and it had nowhere to go
New
because they
words.
Big
didn't.
words, yeah.
because they didn't ever think they were going
We've
to
lost
it.
a lot of people right now because they're going
Because
to
of
the
the
computer
word to look
and
up
looking
insipid,
up insipid. Yes.
in an insipid way.
yeah.
And mostly they just have to look in the mirror.
And secondly, they have to learn how to spell it.
Both good points. Yeah.
Oh, please. When we do comedy, it's like, no, I better not use that word.
Oh,
Nobody,
please.
I'll just lose the whole crowd.
I said it to one closing. I go, did everything get navigated through the closing? Okay, and they said, navigate. Oh, aren't you a show up? I'm thinking, oh boy, navigate. You never heard of navigating anything? Or that was about 5 minutes of mocking.
I did a show a few weeks ago, and I have a joke that ends with, I believe I cultivated a pearl.
Right. It's a very funny thing.
It's a very funny joke, but you have to know how a pearl
Yeah.
is manufactured in
Right.
an oyster to
Right.
get the joke.
Yeah.
And I did it at this one show, and it killed. Unlike it killed, like around here, it doesn't always hit because people don't know.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And I said to the audience, I go, see, you know how a pearl is cultivated, so you get that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so that it's information.
If you're ever in a rush, do you ever think of just telling the punchlines to see if people get it or not?
No.
No.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like handing out a syllabus before my act.
This is how to manufacture a pearl.
Right.
It's like
This-
a menu.
Yeah.
It's a
right.
menu.
So when
I'm
the-
going
No,
to
what if-
reference this.
So
and
when the
this.
joke
Yeah.
comes along,
Right. Follow along.
follow
Yeah.
along,
Yeah.
means an
so
oyster shell has been compromised in some fashion where some sand and or bacteria got into the oyster, the meat of the oyster.
The
And
meat,
to
right.
protect itself, it develops,
A pearl,
cultivates
right.
its own pearl.
Wow.
Its own pearl. Right.
you could have wrote the introductory letter to
Well-
Tony's.
Yeah.
Well, when I heard his joke, I had to look it up.
Oh, that's pretty good though.
That was like
know.
10 years ago. But
got-
that's the way I am. I'm just a curious fellow.
Yeah.
You know?
But you already knew that. 'cause
Sure.
you had all that.
I'm a very,
So,
despite my meager exterior.
no, I think everyone knows you're pretty sharp. So, if you're buying a condominium, make sure you read the condominium documents before you put in an offer.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you don't have time, put in your offer. It's subject to you reading those condominium dockets. I've seen some funky stuff in there that you might
Sure.
not have wanted to buy
Sure.
a condo.
Like certain colors you can paint your house.
Exactly.
You can't leave your garage door open
Yeah.
for
Where you
longer
can
than 20
park,
minutes.
you can't
where
wash your
park.
car,
Yeah.
you can't use a
Right,
hose
right.
for anything.
Sure.
No, it's some
No, you're
things
right.
are
Sure,
like
you
that.
can't sunbathe naked.
Right, in
the-
your neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do Tai Chi.
Sure.
In a,
No, I have one now where they say, the party, any party you have, gathering can only be 6 people.
Right.
I mean, they're very
That's true.
restrictive.
The condo I was down the Cape, there was a
Same thing?
limit. There couldn't be more than 6 people
Yeah.
at any given time.
and you can't
inside.
have the radio on after 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock at
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
9 o'clock at night in the off season, 10 o'clock in the summer.
Wow. Yeah, so you lived at one of those, huh? Was
Yeah,
it-
for like 3 years.
Was
More.
it now? What would people do if people weren't doing those rules?
I was the person that
You were?
complained. I'd go over to people. I say, "Yeah, I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go
right.
to work.
Right.
These people are on vacation for the week. And they're like, hey, come on, But for the most part, it
That
was
9
was
o'clock.
good.
That's pretty early.
It is very early.
That's early. I know.
Yeah.
So
All right.
let's
So
see.
read your condo docs.
Read
and
the
your
condo
rental, because a lot of condos people, well,
No, that's a
the
good
ones
point.
that live, but if it's a rental place, so say you own a condo on the Cape or
Yeah.
Algonquin or Hampton Beach or something, and you kind of live there, but then, you get to rent it a few times.
Yeah.
So you have to see if you can rent it.
Yep.
And what the restrictions
Yeah, it's a good
are
point.
on the renters as well. So
Yeah, these
They have to live by the rules while they're
Exactly.
there.
These condo docs I had recently, when I say it's really my daughter who reviews all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to false.
Yeah, but you know about it.
But I know about. So
she
this
fills you in. Renee Carter's great.
Renee's car is
Yeah.
the best.
She
She's
is.
the best. So this one you couldn't rent it out for less than 6 months or over 2 years. So yeah, they restrict it. They don't want people coming in like a
Like it's not a Airbnb.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
Well, my company that I worked for, they rented it. You know what I mean? But I had to
Okay.
follow the rules.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
company would lose that
Yeah, yeah.
lease.
How was your location when you were down there?
It was great. It was
Nice,
about
huh?
100 yards from the beach.
Yeah,
or
you
so.
should
I had to
show-
walk through the parking lot to get there.
You used to send us some nice pictures of
Oh,
some
yeah.
nice sunsets.
I
and-
visited Artie down there.
Yeah.
It was
Did
very
you?
lovely.
yeah.
Yeah.
What to get your vaccine
He was doing
shot
a
originally?
movie.
No, I was doing a
During the
TV show.
pandemic or
Yeah.
something. He
Yeah.
was doing
What TV
something.
show was that one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was a bus
I
driver.
was a bus driver.
Oh,
Oh, Hightown. It's called Hightown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're a bus driver a lot for.
I look like a bus driver.
Policeman and school superintendent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Miami Heat, not Miami Heat. Was that
The Heat.
The Heat.
The Heat. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. That was a
yeah,
police
yeah.
officer.
Yeah. You know that stuff.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
that's
I don't do any of that.
You don't do that? No.
During that filming, there was a accident. We were filming at an old police station that's been since torn down, and outside there was a accident. A bus hit one of the movie trucks.
You weren't driving.
No.
Okay, all
No,
right.
I was inside.
Okay.
And so we took a break from filming, and I went out completely forgetting I was in a police uniform. And I was the first one on the scene. And people are going, shouldn't you be doing something? I go, no. Absolutely not. And so as a result of me, they passed a rule in all of moviedom now. If you're in uniform of any kind and you go out, you have to cover your badge.
What's it known? The V law?
The V-Law, yeah. I'm not going to do a damn thing.
Yeah, that guy in Boston.
Yeah.
You heard about that, huh? So you were a bus driver, and then you won. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Tell me the Goldie Hawn, because I tell that story all the time to my family members. Can you just tell me that one more time to make sure I have my?
In the
My-
movie House Sitter, I was a bus driver.
Yeah.
And they asked me, it was Frank Oz who directed it, the Muppet guy. And he asked me in the audition if I could drive a bus. And I said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He goes, no, really, it's okay. We can double you or, we can. I go, no, I can drive a bus.
You doubled down then.
Yeah. And he goes, no, it's really okay. I go, you want to see my license?
You tripled down.
Yeah, I tripled down. And he goes, no, I believe you. I go, okay. And so, I show up, and there's a giant bus, and I had never been behind the wheel of a bus in my life.
And how did you do?
And then they put Goldie Hawn on the bus, and I go, oh, my God, I'm going to kill Goldie Hawn.
So how many people on the bus with Goldie Hawn?
Probably 20.
Yeah.
And the only thing they wouldn't let me do is back it up.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could not legally do.
Did
for
you
some
really? And
reason.
you drove it around?
And I drove it around. Yeah, I had to drive it all of 400 yards. I mean,
Okay.
but I had to
All
go
right.
down. Do a U-turn in the bus.
So,
and then
were
do
you
a
in
couple
Boston
of takes.
area?
We were down in on the South Shore,
Cohasset.
Situate,
Oh.
Cohasset.
Okay.
Cohasset, and they dress it as this other town. And then so the first take, I'm gonna let Goldie Hawn off the bus, and I gotta drive. They go drive past the cameras, and then stop about.
You know where this is
100,
headed.
yeah.
I know where that is.
And I pull in, driving the bus, and
It's a
I
big
go-
giant wheel.
Like Jackie Gleason
they got
with the hat.
They got all, I got a guy with a walkie-talkie on the thing, and they're going, all right, you're a little too close, a little wider. And I go by the cameras, and I see people start diving out of the way, And I stopped the bus, and the director, it was actually the assistant director, he comes on the bus, he goes, Tony. I go, yes, sir. He goes, that was really good. I go, thanks. He goes, could you next time not come so
Volunteer.
close to the $250,000 worth of camera and people? And I go, So this is going to be a next time.
So you're a glass half full type of guy.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, we're going to do it again. I go, okay.
And I know comedic time, and we should probably wrap up on that one. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you are
Unless you
coming
have
back.
anything else.
I have a lot of stuff.
I notice you have a lot of notes.
Yeah,
that
and
we
a lot of
haven't-
notes that I put a lot of time into doing here, but maybe we'll wrap it up next week. So
Okay.
get
Yeah.
your professionals early. How's
Well,
that?
that's that-
And then they
that's
can,
a good
then
takeaway
They
from
can
this
have the
show.
roadmap
Yes.
all together for you.
Yes.
They'll
All
deal with
that
it. So
stuff.
that's all you
Yes.
need to do. Do it before your offer. Thanks for joining us here, Artie Januario.
It's a pleasure being here.
Always a pleasure to have you
know?
here, Tony V. Come on, we're almost into the happy new year and all
Is
that.
it almost?
Almost.
Yeah.
What
almost.
year is it
I
going to
can't
be?
guarantee.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year,
Excuse me.
2024.
Thanks for joining us here in 2023, and we'll see you next
Did you ever think you'd make it this far?
2024?
No,
Me neither.
no.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.